Welcome back, Portal Masters. SCL Matt here with another road trip video. Yes, I promised you it is a road trip video. It's going to start off a little weird. We're not getting, well, actually I am in a car right away, but then you'll see I quickly transition to a plane and things are weird for a little while, but stick with me and we'll have some fun. Well, this trip is already a little bit different. You can see here I'm in the passenger seat and my wife is driving me to the airport. We had to leave the house a little bit before 4 a.m. in order to make my flight, and it's going to be a long journey. One of the reasons I don't fly more often, it just feels like there's so much wasted time. I get to the airport super early, get through security very quickly, and then I have to sit and wait and wait. And that's all assuming that nothing gets delayed. Thankfully, though, with early morning flights, they typically run on time. Finally made it on to my first flight of the day. We got a cheap flight. That's part of the reason I agreed to take this flight in the first place, but this has to be the smallest tray table I've ever seen. Made it into the Denver, Colorado airport, and I have a little bit of a layover here, so I decided to get some breakfast pizza. And of course, time for a good morning Mountain Dew. Had to go outside to get onto my second flight here. This was a little bit unexpected, especially for Denver, but the weather wasn't too bad this morning. Now, I will say one thing flying has over driving is much more preferable to fly over the mountains than it is to drive through the mountains. Well, here we are, folks. I'm officially back on land, and I can start my next road trip. Just a little bit different starting position than normal. I am here in Palm Springs, California. I am making my big pickup of the trip out here, and then I will be headed towards Arizona, where I have another pickup yet today, and then we're basically headed home. And just like that, a 7-minute drive away from the airport, we have our first big pickup. I was able to meet up with James, and at first when he mentioned it, I thought I misheard him or misunderstood that he said this was his grandma's collection. But no, that's exactly what it was. This was his grandma's collection. His grandma was a gamer, like from long time ago, probably 70s, 80s, somewhere in there, started gaming, started collecting. Yeah, she played with the kids and the grandkids, but she was a gamer, she was a collector, and unfortunately she passed away, and they're slowly moving on from some of the collections. And that included this Skylanders collection here. So it's a pretty massive collection. It's the reason I came out here. We have a bunch of new unboxed stuff that we should be showing you on screen right now. Some loose stuff as well, and one special item in particular, a that we'll make sure to show off. But I'm not entirely sure what's happening with that just yet, but we'll figure it out along the way. Now, I need to head on to Arizona, the Phoenix area. I actually have a secondary pickup today in Tucson. And then, with whatever time we have remaining, I will be off hunting. I've gotten a lot of good recommendations in the Phoenix and Tucson areas. So, Arizona, let's see what you got. But first, time to stock up on snacks. On my way down to Tucson, I got this emergency alert about a dust storm. This was something that was new to me. This is definitely something we don't have to deal with in the Midwest. I had already been questioning what this giant brown cloud was ahead of me, and this emergency alert kind of explained it. I didn't get to read this full warning until after the fact, but I have some questions. If we have any weather experts out there, or maybe emergency experts, or just folks who have lived down in the desert for a long time, I'm wondering if you can help me out. Most of the warnings make sense to me, except for the one that says, turn your lights off. I don't know about you, but I would want to try to make myself as visible as possible in a storm so people don't run into me. But at least the way I read this, they seem to be saying the opposite. Now, while I didn't fully follow these instructions and pull off the road and turn my car off and all that, I did make it through the storm. However, if I ever run across a cloud like this in the future, I'm pretty sure I would just turn around. It really wasn't that fun to drive through, and honestly, Skylanders aren't worth the risk. Just met up with Will for my second pickup of this trip. It's a nice little lot. We'll be sure to throw in some pictures here because there's definitely some good stuff to be had. And that will be coming to the shop soon, of course, if it's not already there. But I do also have one store to check out. Will thinks, or at least told me, it'd probably be pretty picked over, but I still want to check it out because I'm right here, and I've heard people mention it before when they're in Arizona. So let's go check out this Bookman's. Well, I didn't pick up anything there, but definitely worth checking out if you're ever in the, this is Tucson area, but Arizona in general, there's multiple Bookmans, and they had a bunch of games, fairly priced for sure. Even the PS4 stuff wasn't overpriced. It was very close to my pricing. There was an Xbox One game, plenty of other, Wii and Wii U games. I didn't see any Wii U games, but you get the idea. Figures as well, they had them. They were fairly picked over. There was some decent stuff in there. I did find a camo right at the end. That was the only thing I would have been buying, so I decided to leave it. But figures seem to be flat rate, $4 per figure. And this is a store that I think a member of our community has mentioned before when they were on a trip down here in Arizona and actually found like a green Chompy Mage for $4. So, I mean, it seems like they just kind of put everything there for $4. And if you happen to stumble in on a good day, you could strike it rich. But yeah, nothing there for me today, but definitely a good place to hunt for Skylanders if you are in the area. On to day 2. And today is going to be a little bit more traditional hunting. Still got a lot of driving, but I'm going to do some hunting first. First comes up a recommendation from someone in the community. I think it was a YouTube commenter. Told me about Fallout Games here in Arizona. I don't know if every Fallout Games location is like that, but if they are, 100% recommend. Nice, small, clean little game store. They did have the figures in a case, but I mean, it was simple enough to ask them to open the case so I could look at them. All the figures were priced, which is great. So I did end up picking up a bunch of stuff. I will say the prices in general, right around market, some just below, some a little above, but you average them out and you're right there. So I was able to pick up a few things because I definitely did want to support them. We got a glow-in-the-dark portal for $360. 3 Mirror of Mysteries. I think that was all of them they had there. It was a good price on that one. Enchanted Elven Forest, Light Fanged Creation Crystal, Kaboom, Punk Shock, Flipwreck, and the legendary Tri-Tip. So I picked up a bunch of stuff, but as you saw, hopefully in the video, there is a ton more there. A bunch of, hard to find stuff. There's Batspin and High Five and Fling Kong, so a bunch of Trap Team era stuff in there. There's that clear Thunderbolt new in box, which I think actually has a very decent price on it. So lots of stuff in there. Lots of games, portals, figures. Go check them out. Fallout Games in Arizona. Made it to stop number 2 for the day. It's another Bookman's location. So I was at a Bookman's last night for the first time. And like I said, there are a few locations in the Phoenix area, and we're going to hit one more before we head out of town. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, that was quite the unexpected haul. Even just looking at the bin in the store, at the top of the bin, I did not expect to find all this stuff. I mean, do you see that guy right there? That might be the best one found today, but a ton of good stuff, especially since everything was $3, $4, or $5, kind of based on size. The Hijinks was actually only $2. So $2 for little guys, $3 for most of them, $4 for like giants and some of the place-up pieces over here, $5 for the Trap Masters. But very, very, very good overall. And I picked up 2 Xbox One portals. So fantastic haul here at Bookman's. I can see why they come so highly recommended. And once again, just depends on the day, but today was a good day. All right, one more stop before we head out of town. These 3 stores are basically in a straight line out of town. So we had Fallout, we had Bookman's, now we have one more Fallout Games. Let's hope our luck continues. It's been a fantastic day of hunting today. Well, with a little bit of an unexpected twist, this particular Fallout Games location does not have Skylanders figures. However, I did not run out of there empty-handed. We did pick up 2 games, Imaginators for both PS4 and Xbox One. So that's something. They did direct me to their Tempe location, but I've already been there. Good morning. It is about 7 a.m. I've been up for about an hour already. And it's a driving day. I do have one stop along the way today, but this is the big driving day for sure. I am here in Albuquerque. I'm going to take a left.
I understood that reference.
And start heading home. Just because I have to drive 13 hours today doesn't mean I can't stop at one game store, right? I got a recommendation from a community member about a store in Newton, Kansas. And that, surprisingly enough, just happened to be along my route. So I'm like maybe 2 minutes off my path through Kansas. And so I figured, yeah, gotta check it out. Well, that was a little disappointing. I literally think the only Skylanders thing in that store was the one Trap Team game. But it was nice to get out of the car for a while and stretch my legs and look at some games. But now, got to get back on the road so I can get home. So I can show you some of the stuff that's hiding back here. Or maybe it's been down in the corner of the screen the entire time. So now the moment you've all been waiting for. This is a part of a store kiosk that came in the first lot I picked up in Arizona. James's grandma was friendly with folks down at GameStop and was able to get her hands on this kiosk when they were done with it. Join me, if you will, for a few moments of 2011 nostalgia.
For generations, Skylands and its magical core were protected by the Skylanders. Then, a new face of evil arrived and banished them to Earth. Tiny and frozen. They may look like toys, but they are alive on the inside. Using the portal of power, only you can send them back. It doesn't matter what you have. Skylanders work on any of these game systems. Experience the adventure with your friends in co-op mode. Or go head-to-head in the battle
was thrilled to find out that this machine works, but unfortunately it is incomplete. This was just box 1 of 4. There's also supposed to be a little floating island and a portal and so on and so forth. But I discovered that there's a USB port in the back of this unit, so I decided to plug in one of my own portals.
Hey, come over here for a second. I have something special to show you. I stole this from the office, so don't tell SCL Jillian. I'm hoping we can do a quick speed unboxing and get it back before she ever notices it's gone. This is a Super Starter mystery box. Over at SCL Collectibles, we get a lot of first-time buyers, people who are just starting their collection, and this box is perfect for you. This box contains 40 different items, 30 from List A and 10 from List B. These lists can change at any time, and each box is going to be a little bit different. That's what makes it a mystery box. But let's take a look at one example of what you might be able to get. Series 1 Drobot, Fiery Forge, Sky Trophy, Hidden Treasure, Super Gulp Pop Fizz, Zulu, Rocket Ram, Series 2 Lightning Rod, Dragonfire Cannon, Water Log Holder Trap, Ghost Swords, Series 1 Pop Fizz, Series 2 Chop Chop, Series 1 Stealth Elf, Series 1 Eruptor, Ninja Stealth Elf, Knockout Terrafin, Sea Trophy, Series 1 Sprocket, Series 2 Sonic Boom, Series 2 Trigger Happy, Anvil Rain, Series 1 Whirlwind, Light Core Eruptor, Series 1 Terrafin, Series 1 Drill Sergeant, Scorp, Dino Rang, Series 2 Double Trouble, Battle Hammer, Series 2 Terrafin, Riptide, Series 2 Cinder, Series 1 Spyro, Slobbertooth, Washbuckler, Series 1 Double Trouble, Series 1 Shroom Boom, Kingpin, and Golden Queen. So you can see that box had a pretty good variety, something from almost every game. I often see first-time buyers putting together a lot looking something like this. And so I thought, hey, why not give them a little bit of a discount? So that's 40 items in this box for just $60. Just $1.50 per item. I can't guarantee exactly which figures you'll get, but all figures are guaranteed to be in good condition and will definitely work in the game. So if you're looking to jump back into Skylanders or getting into Skylanders for the very first time, consider a Super Starter mystery box.